Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to 10 Yards Back with me, Jim, for my predictions for round 6 of the 2026 Betfred Super League. How are we doing? I'm very well, thanks. Round 6 is upon us. Round 5 is a long memory at this point, but some exciting stuff happened. Plenty to go here in round 6, which in some ways feels like the calm before the storm, doesn't it? Because, of course, round 7 this year holds that famous mouth-watering rivals round. So, in this video, I'm going to give you my predictions of a couple of the highlights of the weekend, my favourite games. Just going to pick a couple out there and give you my views on the rest fleetingly as well. Thursday night at the OneBore Stadium, formerly the Jungle, forever the Jungle, in our hearts. Bradford visit Castleford. Now, Bradford are in really good form here, and Castleford, I'm going to say Castleford have been a bit mixed, to be honest. They won one game against Huddersfield, so it feels a little bit like 2025 all over again, doesn't it? But I think Castleford haven't really played as bad as it looks like they have. And don't forget, I mean, I know it's the old Luke Robinson excuse, but massive injury list for Castleford in very key positions. And we'll look at the team they're probably going to field in a sec. So stats-wise, like I said, Bradford really, really outperforming. Castleford probably thought when the fixtures came out, we've got this one. This is at least one on the board for the old Tigers there. But those bloody Bulls are coming to get them. So, you know, we got 13 playing 5. I mean, last week I said let's not put too much into that, but we're in round 5 now, so you can probably start to put a little bit of sort of power behind the rankings there, can't you? Especially when it's 13 versus 5. 6 versus 2, so Bradford have won 2 more of their games. The key stat here that I think is the most important one for us to focus on is the average meters. Bradford making almost 400 meters more than Castleford in a game, on average, which means that they could go further. I've already said that this is a big deal. 400 meters is a lot. It's making your way down the pitch four times, right? But this is the Jungle, so meters are a little bit skewed here. That could mean that this is going to be an absolute blowout because those 400 meters are actually closer to 4.5 times down the pitch. Or it could mean that actually Castleford are going to be able to restrict meters a little bit more here because it's their home ground, their home turf, their den. Where do Tigers live? Dens. Territory. It's their territory. So maybe they'll be able to restrict them a little bit here. So look at the teams that each team has available. Again, I mentioned that injury crisis at Castleford. They're probably going to put Zach Seeney in at fullback. Now, I like Zach Seeney. I think he's a good player. He's probably been, him and Dejan Arce have probably been, and Gary have probably been, the float. That's the thing that's keeping Castleford afloat these past 2 seasons. That being last season and this one. But putting a centre in at fullback is a bit awkward when he's never really done it before. He was a centre all last year and for the start of this year, and now all of a sudden you've got him at fullback. I just wonder whether that's a little bit too far. Bradford, on the other hand, I've got pretty much first picks out there, other than so Connor Wynn, they've got on the wing there. Everybody else, I think, in that team is a 1 to 13 player, and Connor Wynn, he's a good player. So you wouldn't mind having to sub him in for injuries. As you move down the team list for Castleford, it's okay, but I'm going to highlight the position of hooker because everybody will be highlighting the position of hooker. I've a little scratch in my beard and looked at the team sheet and thingy's gone. Liam Hood is out. Now, I really like Liam Hood, and he's been a massive signing for Castleford. He's out. I think the only player they've really got at this point to replace him, given the injuries, is someone like an Ashton Golding, who, he's probably played hockey before. He's played everywhere, hasn't he? But it's not his trade. It's not what he likes to do. He's more these days. He's sort of more of a loose forward, isn't he? Loose forward, second row, that kind of thing. Yes, he can slip in. Of course, he can slip in. He can do anything. But is it as good as having Andy Ackers opposite you for Bradford, particularly in this day and age when the speed of the ruck and those dummy half runs and that sort of quick-witted hooking role is coming to the fore, really. All the teams that are at the top now have got massively powerful hookers. Is it a bit too much? I don't know. For me, if Castleford can restrict those meters and can get on the front foot and keep Bradford down there, Castleford score most of their points this season between the 10 and 20 minute mark. So if they can get off the mark with maybe 2 tries in that period, I don't know, and then keep Bradford down their own end, if they can just restrict those meters, perhaps they could do something special. Because it would be special, I think, if Castleford were to win this. I've got 18-22. I think it's a home game. The Bulls, it's Good Friday next week, or the rivals round now next week. They're going to be, probably looking forward to that a little bit, given it's the first one back in Superleague. Castleford, they've got the players, they're just a bit out of position. So I think they're probably going to fall short on this one. I don't think Bradford will run away with it. Prove me wrong. What do you think? I got Bradford winning this one. All right. Elsewhere in the league, who haven't I covered? Wigan versus Huddersfield. Lee versus Toulouse is an appealing fixture, but we think that given the way that the Leopards played last week against Wakefield with the injuries, I can only really see that going one way. Hull FC versus Catalans is a sleeper. I'm really rooting for Hull FC on that one. I don't know why. I don't know when I became a Hull FC fan, but gosh darn it, I bloody did. So I'm rooting for Hull FC on that one. I think they can do it. My math says that they can do it. But Catalans are just boiling, aren't they? They're just simmering. They're just ready to boil over. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. Let me know what you think of my predictions, my team choices, who's in, who's out, blah blah blah, who's injured, and I just haven't noticed and put them in the team anyway. Let me know. Listen, like, subscribe, comment. Let's make friends in the comments, and enjoy Super League's 30th birthday. I'll see you next week.